Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today I will be presenting to you the state of Kentucky, or the Bluegrass State, and showing you some of the things that make Kentucky the state it is today. Starting off with the basics, there are some things you need to know to be a true Kentuckian. The state bird is the cardinal, and the state flower is the goldenrod. Pictured in the flag is their motto, United we stand, divided we fall. The state song is called My Old Kentucky Home, written by Stephen Foster in 1853. Here's the chorus of the song now. Kentucky is home to some beautiful cities. These are some of the more popular cities in Kentucky, them being named Frankfort, Louisville, and Lexington. Here you can see some aerial footage of Frankfort, which is Kentucky's state capital. One of the more popular cities is Louisville, pictured here, and Lexington, seen here. Let's take a look at the population of Kentucky. In 1790, 2 years before Kentucky became a state, there was about 73,000 people living within the borders of the state. In 1800, 8 years after Kentucky became a state, the population grew to a little over 220,000 people. And ever since 1800, this huge growth trend continued, growing an average of 100,000 to 400,000 people every 10 years. Currently, there's a population of 4,490,341 people, placing Kentucky as the 26th most populated state in the U.S. The history of Kentucky is quite interesting. Kentucky was involved in many important wars, such as the Revolutionary and Civil War. It also played a big role in slavery, not ratifying the 13th Amendment until 1976. This is quite uncanny, as the state had its first Kentucky Derby won by an African American. Kentucky is also home to many famous people. Some historical political figures are Abraham Lincoln, Zachary Taylor, and Jefferson Davis. Some more famous people seen in pop culture that come from Kentucky are Muhammad Ali, Johnny Depp, Jennifer Lawrence, Josh Hutcherson, and Rajon Rondo. The government in Kentucky isn't too different from many other state governments in the U.S. As I said before, Abraham Lincoln and Zachary Taylor, two presidents of the U.S., come from Kentucky. Cassius Clay was an emancipationist from Kentucky, and his daughter, Laura Clay, followed in his footsteps, becoming a leader of the American women's suffrage movement. The state of Kentucky receives 8 electoral votes, and they currently have 2 senators and 6 representatives. The 2 senators are Mitch McConnell and Rand Paul. Kentucky is home to many major natural attractions. I will tell you some of the attractions, but for now, check out this aerial view of nature in Frankfort, Kentucky. Kentucky has many mountains, rivers, and lakes. You could try scaling the Black Mountain, standing at 4,144 feet above sea level and being the tallest point in Kentucky. Or you can canoe down one of the many major rivers in Kentucky, such as the Cumberland River, Kentucky River, or the Green River, just to name a few. You could also just float across one of the major lakes in Kentucky, like Lake Cumberland, Kentucky Lake, or Lake Barkley. The man-made places in Kentucky are also very beautiful. There are 49 state parks in Kentucky. You can visit one of the many beautiful parks, such as the Natural Bridge Park. It is also quite historic, since the bridge is estimated to have formed millions of years ago. The main attraction is the Natural Bridge. Here's an aerial view now. Some of the tourist attractions in Kentucky are also very interesting. There is the Kentucky Derby, which is one of the more popular attractions in Kentucky. People from around the U.S. come together to watch this sport, whether at the venue or on television. It has been happening since 1875. The most recent one was just last week on May 4th. Let's see a clip now. Another popular attraction is the Louisville Slugger Museum and Factory. This is a place where Louisville Sluggers are made, the bats that professional baseball players use. You can watch as a normal piece of wood turns into a Louisville Slugger. And where did it happen to originate? Well, Kentucky, of course. Colonel Harlan Sanders started his wild ride of food production in Corbin, Kentucky during the Great Depression. He cooked a lot in his early life and started serving food when he was 40 at a filling station run by Shell. He then opened another location across the street. He also made his own pressure fryer out of a pressure cooker. The pressure fryer allows the chicken to cook faster without deep frying, therefore allowing the chicken to maintain the same quality as normally cooking it. He finalized his chicken recipe in July 1940, then securing his place in history as the creator of KFC chicken. All of that is what makes Kentucky into the state it is today, the Bluegrass State. From the basics all the way to KFC, Kentucky is quite an amazing state. It has beautiful natural places, some pretty important famous people, and an interesting history. Will you visit Kentucky?